Welcome back to our ongoing chronicle of Vampire the Masquerade, New Orleans by Night. This is chapter 20 of our story. Moving on up there in numbers, and the action is moving up as well as we continue our tale. And Jeff, if you don't mind, let's let everybody know where we left off from last week.
Alrighty. So last week we started with Vicenta and Ig picking up their stuff from Quentin's house. They were trying to decide what their next steps were. They had some tender moments. Meanwhile, Bob just laid low for the night in his hidey hole. At the same time, Iris did a tarot reading on Ig after getting her message from Erasmus. It gave her a message to rethink your partnerships. She went to tell Antonio to be careful around Ig. She tried to play it off a bit afterwards. We don't really know exactly how he took it, so that could be interesting. She went on to check on Ig and Vicenta and decided to search their apartment when they weren't there. It went really poorly. She messed up their apartment really bad, but didn't find anything. After she came out of her rage, she just sat there and decided to wait, kind of like a little kid or something. It was great. When Vicenta and Ig returned, Vicenta got really pissed off and confronted Iris and even threw on her mask of death. It was really good, actually. It was really dramatic stuff. Iris was scared shitless and just blurted out everything. She, including the stuff about Ig. Ig denied it at first, but eventually he came clean with what he did with the SI. And once he did and told them that it was to get rid of some Giovanni, Vicenta immediately forgave him, and things got really awkward for Iris. They eventually she was showing the hand, and Ig just passed out immediately, which was interesting. While all that was going on, Andre learned more about Catherine Morel from his ghoul, and that she's tracking a terrorist that she accidentally let go or got out of her custody, and so that's why she lost favor. Or at least that was what the internet rumors said. The next night, Bob eventually made it to Kiki. Kiki told Bob that Roger made it. Together, they're convinced that Robert Carter was responsible. They received a message to keep your distance from Ig. In that same night, Vicenta hunger frenzied and ran out in the streets and grabbed some dude that was a bass violinist and drank him dry, and then...
Rest in peace, Carl.
His name was Carl?
I think so.
Carl's Jr.
And she ended up...
Oh my God, really? Why do you have that ready?
A sign
I also had this one.
A sign of things to come.
Yeah.
I'm on one tonight. Sorry. Go ahead.
So, anyways, she just threw him in the sewers. Andre met with Catherine Morel and Butch and discussed the Bush's chances. And Catherine was definitely trying to size Andre up the whole time. It was interesting. She talked a lot about what do we do when Butch loses, and right in front of Butch. And it almost felt like she knew that something to do with Andre losing might set him off or something. It was
interesting insight.
It was very. She kept bringing that up. Is the only reason why I say that. She wanted to meet with Andre the next afternoon, and Andre agreed, even though we all know Andre will not be making that meeting. Bob made it to Iris and asked her what happened. Iris told Bob everything. Bob eventually got everyone into Iris's room. Probably not the best decision with what we know about Iris, but Bob was emotional and probably didn't care. He just wanted to get it out. The TV turns on, and we find out about Robert Carter's death and how he was mutilated. Then Iris is telling everyone that after Bob asked her about it, that she was the great-grandsire, or her prince was the great-grandsire.
Yeah.
We start to plan things, but everything just kind of goes sideways, and eventually Iris knows that or gets a message that someone is coming, and we assume the prince because that's the thing, but it could be someone else. Who knows? But it came through the Bugs Life message network, and that's what I'm going to call it from now on. And that was it.
Yeah, good synopsis. Thank you. And that's where we begin our story. Waiting for the prince of the city of New Orleans to show up at Antonio Calvashari's apartment complex to meet with all of you. You have a few minutes before the arrival of the prince. Is there anything that you as a coterie would like to discuss? Have you also asked anyone else to be in the room besides the 5 of you, including Ignacio?
I don't think so, have we?
No.
Okay.
Not even Tony C was invited to this.
Right.
Yeah, but we were doing a coterie only regroup.
Yeah.
And then the prince is crashing it.
Yep.
Not immediately. You have a little time.
I know.
So talk amongst yourselves.
Maybe we should get Tony seated. Come in the house. Come in here.
I don't know.
That sounds scary.
I
think she will bring him up. I think she'll bring him up if she wants him there. She knows this is his place. I don't see why we need him.
That's fair enough. I kind of want to ask what everybody thinks about trying to find Robert Carter's spirit, but I don't really know a nice segue into that.
She would just say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Stokely, my condolences to your Mr. Carter. But there is a possibility that he could still serve.
How so?
His death seemed rather violent. There tends to be remnants remained after such occurrences.
What do you need?
Something that belongs to him. Something that he cares about deeply.
The only thing I know for certain was his daughter.
That will probably
How does
be sufficient. Assuming he has been reaped, but if he has been deceased for some time, I have no doubt someone has come and released him from a goal.
I think that sounds like something we should do then. How would we keep the daughter from? Do we need her specifically? I don't know what all that means.
Yes, I will need to meet with his daughter.
Sounds good.
So wait, we're going to bring his ghost up in front of his daughter?
Hopefully, either yourself, Mr. Ducard, or Iris, dear, could be of assistance for after.
Okay.
For after? Oh.
Make her forget?
Got it. Yeah.
Or simply sleep through the meeting.
That'd probably be for the best.
She has no need to see or hear such visions, no need to upset her. But I imagine that your Mr. Carter has a great deal of information that can be useful to us.
Absolutely.
And he might be seeking revenge for his demise.
I think he would do well here in New Orleans. I also think we need to. Do you have anyone that can travel across great distances, say to Houston? Is there something that can be done there?
There is. What would need be done?
There is a man we talked about before, Anthony Walls.
Ah, yes.
I want to know if he is connected to any of this as well. If he's still a player or if he has moved on.
One moment. Vicenta's gonna go back into her apartment, grab one of the photo albums. Sorry, I don't know why I can't think of photo albums. And bring it back into Iris's apartment. And she's flipping through, and it's not just photos. It's got little mementos and things of that nature. And she is going to pull up a page on an individual that is named Morgan. Oops. Oh, yeah. Fine. So she gets, it looks like maybe it was baby hair or something that's been taped into,
Yeah.
So she puts a little bit of her blood on the hair and she starts to chant. And then at the end she says, Morgan Giovanni, brother, you are summoned to me now.
Okay.
And I had 4 successes on that.
Okay, that's fine. This is a dead brother.
Yep.
Okay.
He died in Katrina.
Ah, that's right. It's in that novel of a
Yes. I didn't know.
rundown,
I didn't
which you can read on Obsidian Portal. I
You
highly
can-
recommend
yes,
going
yes.
and look at that. I have it in front of me and actually use it while we play. It helps a lot.
Link will be below.
Yeah, they will. Absolutely.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, hit that, ring that bell. He appears, looking, around, but quickly.
I'm assuming
Realizing-
you have to. Do you have to have like? Can you anybody see him, or is it?
No.
Yeah.
It's one of the things. If you have Auspex and you have Sense the Unseen, yes. So you know she has asked for a ghost to be here. So if you wanted to actively look, you could see him.
I don't really want to rouse, so I'm good.
Okay.
Do you have to rouse to do something?
You don't have to do. You don't have to rouse.
Oh, you're right. It's free.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I would do it.
I think
I'll
Andre's
take
just
a
going to
look.
step outside.
Okay.
Not like outside the apartment complex, but
Just outside the room.
yeah.
Okay.
You don't like
Is there a
mouse?
reason?
Just because, like, he already is not, like, big on the ghost stuff.
Okay.
So it's just, like, and he can't see him anyways. So he's just going to, like, let them handle that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Not for any, like, player reason. It's just,
Just
Andre,
what character
I
would
think,
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
And also maybe to keep lookout for if the prince shows up.
Sure.
Last thing you need is a ghost being in the room while the prince shows up.
Yeah.
I got 2 onks, 1 onk with fangs, and then 1 skull on my red dice.
That's 3 successes.
Okay.
You're fine. That is enough to see him.
I wave at him.
He looks similar to, as some spirits do, the way they died. Whether or not that's by choice or just unaware that they can shape their being and change it. He looks like a drowned man for all intents and purposes. Got cuts all over him. And he sees you and he says, Persephone?
He would know that.
Yeah, yeah.
The weird stuff's
But
already
it's
happened.
pulled him out of whatever he was doing.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
And immediately sucks you from where you
That's
are
right.
to our side of the shroud.
That's true.
Yeah.
Forgive me, brother. There is a situation at hand that requires your assistance if you are able.
I may be. What is it?
I need you to travel to Houston to seek out a man named Anthony Walls,
A man?
like me,
Okay.
my kind.
Yes.
But he should not have the abilities to see you, nor interact with you.
And you're sure of this?
I know he's a Venturi, right?
Yeah.
I am fairly certain these arts are not prevalent outside of our family.
I understand.
And this is not question.
Mm-hmm.
There's not exactly going to be a huge Giovanni presence in Houston, right? I mean, maybe a few.
No. If there is, it's not announced. It's not
Right.
a known thing.
Okay, so I will relay that information to him as well.
Mm-hmm. The spaghetti western side of the family.
You know. So
Play your music. Play your little music. There you go.
The sorry. I'll not do that.
And so she's, telling him, and then she'll ask Bob what he needs to know specifically. And she'll tell you, he can hear you, Mr. Stokely. Just simply tell him what he needs to look for.
I think Bob would probably look in the same direction that she was looking, obviously not seeing anything.
You two notice he's kind of stepped off to the side because it's funny to him.
That is funny.
Persephone's kind of going like this.
Yeah. Oh, Bob has no clue. He's just like, what's your deal? No. We need to know if he's talking to someone named Catherine Morel or anybody related to the Second Inquisition, FirstLight. Those things are mentioned. If any of those are mentioned, that's what we need to know. Catherine Morel, Second Inquisition, FirstLight.
Okay. Tell him that. Does he know of where I could find this person? Does he have an item of his or anything that might draw me to him?
Do you have an item of Mr. Walls or anything that could draw him to Mr. Walls? Do you have a picture?
We have
A card? Business card? Anything that could remain?
You have resources? You have dots and resources?
I do.
How many?
2.
I'm going to use it for this. I'm going to say you're pretty resourceful. So give me, this is kind of a luck roll. Give me wits plus awareness, just to see if you would have thought in your time. And I'll give you 2 extra dice since you know to keep things because you're a detective for your resources.
Okay.
To see if you happen to actually have this card or something of his.
I will. Can I use a willpower?
Of course.
Okay.
You turned one of your successes over. Just FYI.
Okay. All right. You can roll up to 3, right?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. 3 successes.
3 successes. You may have, but it's at your agency. You do keep files, but that would mean either getting Kiki to go over there or going over yourself and getting that information.
I may have something. I think Kiki may have a picture on her phone, but that would not be something that we could show because she did have the video footage.
Right.
But that was on camera.
No, that was actually on. That was Avery that had
that. Was
that.
a safe camera.
Yeah, no, that was on Avery's stuff.
Yeah.
So no.
Oh, that was. Damn it. Maybe a
'Cause
business
she had
card
the
or
stuff from the Thin Bloods.
But you may have a file on it.
Yeah, I could see I may have something at my office. I can have my associate go get that.
Yes. Just whenever you have it, the equivalent, leave it. Let's see. Leave it under a rock near the church.
Yes.
And he's saying this like this is a spot you would know of that maybe you've done some drops before. Make sure you let him know to forget about it and to feel that it's gone out of his life, never to return.
Yes. I will do so.
I'm assuming she relays that. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I would like to go outside to tell Kiki to go get the file.
Okay. Yeah, so you're going to walk out because she was waiting, right?
Yeah, she was somewhere outside with probably in the vehicle.
Yeah. So you tell her?
Yes.
She says, "Okay, yeah, sure. I'll go get that. Yeah, I'll just grab the whole file."
Okay. All right. You do that now. Come back. I'll still be here.
Sure. Yeah. Long night, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. 45 minutes or so.
Right.
Okay. I'll see you soon.
And before Morgan goes on about his business, she asks him, "And brother, what would you like in return for this service?"
I'll get back to you.
Of course.
Things are okay now. As good as they can be.
Yes. Whatever you think of. It is yours.
I'll consider it. Thank you.
Farewell, brother.
And you see him kind of almost like he's walking down stairs that maybe existed a long time ago, but you don't see them. And he disappears from your side and your side. You've heard the conversation stop inside the room, but it is about at this time that Antonio Calbashari is walking down the hall.
Oops.
And he sees you and he says, "Oh, Andre, how are you? What do we owe the pleasure of your visit?"
I'm good. We're speaking to Iris. We're having a coterie meeting.
Ah, I see. Well, if there's anything that I could do to help, of course, I'll be here.
Yes, absolutely. Have you... trying to think. Hold on. I don't know if I should tell him that the prince is coming or not. I feel like
Do I hear Tony C outside?
Yes.
I'm gonna get up and say, "Oh, Tony, I have to tell you something.
Oh, yes,
You're gonna have to stay away from me."
I am.
Yeah. And in fact, I may need to move out.
And that's what Prince Charity is coming to discuss, I suppose.
I don't know. Probably. But, I don't want to put you in danger.
All of you know that you just didn't tell him. So, but he's also
He knew she was
the
coming.
senator.
Am I back yet? Am I back yet?
You would be coming up
Okay.
about this time. Yeah.
Antonio, I assume the prince notified you.
Yes, I've been placing a number of wards and physical precautions around the building.
Have you heard about what happened to Roger and Elvis?
I believe that will be the topic of tonight's discussion.
You mean Avery and Elvis?
Yeah.
Or Avery. Sorry,
No,
he
this-
wouldn't have got that wrong.
Yeah, he says the right name.
Yeah.
was that discussed in the meeting last
Mhm.
week?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure that will be discussed, but I think the matter of the news announcement is more pressing. I don't know if you've heard they found the police chief.
We saw that.
We saw that.
You did.
Vicente's gonna dig his ghost up.
Dig his dead ass up and make him talk. You thought you were over the torture. You're not. All right. So he just kind of puts his hands through his blonde hair, kind of sighs, and this city. It chews so many people up and spits them out. It's unfortunate. He was a good ally, an asset to you and your clan. And I'm sorry for the loss. He helped us as well. He was a good eyes and ears for us for a number of years.
Is he saying anything about Avery and Elvis? Or is he just talking about the police?
You're not hearing this.
I know.
You're
This
hearing
is me
Yeah.
as a person.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, there's a knowledge bomb for you.
I think
That Tony C had Robert Carter working for him too.
Or at least knew.
Or
that-
at least knew Avery and Roger did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense because
He's a
they're the
senator.
one. They reported to Calbashari
Yep.
when they were spying on Vicente and the thing with Robert Carter and all that. That's who they went to. They didn't go to the prince with it. They went to Tony C with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Maybe not as big a bomb as you thought, huh?
Well, it was because I forgot.
Welcome to my world. Gaming in your 30s and 40s, folks.
Yeah.
All right. So, if it's all right with you, Iris, I would very much like to be a part of this meeting, but it is your abode.
It's your abode. Come on in.
Thank you.
I ship it.
And he steps in. Are you going with him?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything you would like to talk to him about before the prince arrives? You probably have a few moments.
I just want to clear up that Ig is no longer needing to be stayed away from.
We want to bring this up right now.
Yeah, I just made an error.
So you are the one instead.
Yes.
Iris, what is going on? Is there something I need to know about before Her Majesty gets here?
No, she should probably hear it too.
So you will wait.
Yes.
Fair. If you're in danger, I can, of course, assist you as much as it was within my power. You are very precious to her.
I really don't know what I'm going to do, so I may take you up on that. But I also know that there's a target on my back, and that the best thing for me to do may be to move on.
We shall discuss it, I'm sure. This is a very dangerous meeting, mind you. This is something that had to be orchestrated and carefully planned, which is why the other guests will be arriving in small groups.
Other guests?
What?
It's not just the
My
prince.
room's not that big.
No, we will be meeting in my quarters at my banquet table.
What is it?
It seems that the prince is having Morgaine and Karen Chantry accompany her tonight to discuss matters.
Who's Karen Chantry?
The
Ventru
harpy.
Harp. Yeah, she's the harpy.
Ventru Primogen and the Harpy.
Primogen / harpy.
What's a
Yes.
harpy again?
Harpy is like the voice of the Camarilla. They go around and give messages and set things up.
Okay, then I'm like, oh, in that case, I don't want to wait for the prince. I'll just tell you.
Okay.
Or should she just wait?
No, tell it, spill it.
Yeah.
Tony will go to bat for you.
Yeah, I'll just tell it to the prince in secret later. I do
Right.
not want those two finding out.
Right.
I would just say that when I was in Vegas, I was captured by the SI and I escaped, obviously. But a woman who was responsible, who took the heat for my escape, is here. That's Catherine Burrell, and she is looking for me.
There is that long pregnant pause like that. I see.
We all just found about that this tonight as well.
Well, Ignu for all.
You may be our Pied Piper then. That is to be discussed. We'll see.
Tony, I have something to speak with you about too.
There's a lot to discuss, is there not? Yes.
I was curious if I could get, if you know of a way to help me with something. I recently spoke to Catherine Morell, as in maybe about 2 hours. It was about 2 hours, could we say, or an hour ago, or was it? How long was it?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. She
I thought it was
came.
the other night.
No.
It was earlier.
It's
this night.
earlier almost first thing in the night. Yeah.
She is working. She was speaking with Butch Rollins, whose campaign I'm funding, and she wants to insert herself and give some of her ideas to him, and they seem to be working closely. When she came in, she was clearly sizing me up. She asked for a meeting tomorrow afternoon. I have an idea of what I'm going to do next time I speak with her, but if there's anything you may be able to do to help me with this, next meeting or anything that maybe we need to implant in her mind, anything we can do to make her forget something.
That would
I
be your specialty, sir, would it not?
That would be, but
Making the meeting might be his.
any kind of magic. I don't know,
Sure.
if there's anything you can do to protect me when I decide to throw my bullshit at her.
Me?
Is he just a wizard? I mean, does he have any kind of like a
Just a wizard.
You're a wizard, Tony.
or does he have any other sort of like social powers?
Yes. He. Let me look at his stats. As far as I don't want to give everything that he can do away.
That's fine.
But yes, he does. He does. He hasn't gotten to where he is without having the ability to see and influence. You know. You do know, though, just from what you've seen, that he is a pretty powerful sorcerer. He says, "I do not have that where you could meet her in the day."
I'm not trying to meet her in the day. I already know what I'm going to do about next time I speak to her. But
Yes.
if there's anything that you can tell me that maybe we want when I do speak to her, things to bring up, things to discuss, ways if say she's bringing some backup with her.
If she is truly in charge of the operation here, then it sounds like the operation would be held in her hands. If you could convince her in some manner to get the operation to pack up because it's mission accomplished, that would be to our benefit. That's a very big ask, though, and there would be those that would immediately be suspect that she had been influenced to do such.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
And if there is a separate way for her to feel like her mission is accomplished, if she is after Iris and she feels that Iris has been eliminated.
Iris, now you say you have dealings with her. How deep does this go?
What do you mean?
How familiar are they with you?
The sheep blood, dear. Tell him about the sheep blood.
So they had me locked up for, what was it, like 2 weeks, a week? I don't remember. And they fed me sheep's blood, and I think they were asking me questions about what I could do.
And you told them what?
Nothing.
And how did you escape?
I dominated one of the guards, and then I passed unseen.
They at least know we can do that.
I never saw her, but
Well, the only thing I can either do is dominate or rip her spine out.
At this point, I would prefer the second, but a little more tact is warranted, I'm afraid. About that time, the door swings open, and the prince materializes before all of you.
does she have the other two with her?
No, not at the
By
moment.
materializes, you mean she walks through the door, or does she literally like materialize?
I mean, the door just swings open,
Uh-huh.
and she comes out of thin air like Bob can do.
Oh, gotcha.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Hi.
Let's come in. Let's all make ourselves comfortable. We're waiting on 2 others. Antonio, you've told them, right? Yes, my prince, I have. Wonderful. Well, then you know our other 2 guests. You're not intimately familiar with them, Mr. Stokely. You know them a little better than others. Passing relationship. I felt it important for them to be here because, to be frank, this is my inner circle at this point. These are the ones that I know I can trust. Not the least of which because I know that targets are on your heads and that you have very much to lose and have been threatened a number of times. And there are those of us within the city who have not, conveniently enough, and those will not be in attendance. But I'm afraid I just don't trust too many folks these nights.
So just kind of sitting there thinking, why the fuck am I here?
She doesn't look at you and Ig too much when she says this.
Okay. We're just here by association. We have mutuals.
Yeah. I believe that Morgaine and Karen will be in your quarters, Antonio. And Antonio just kind of nods, understanding that, they're even going to different parts of the building. And she says, momentarily they'll arrive. But before they do, there are some matters we need to discuss. Mr. Kalbashari, I need you to leave the room.
Well, why did we bring him with the room in the first place?
My hands are sweating.
And she shuts the door. And she looks at all of you.
Are we in Iris's room right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She starts straightening things up behind her back.
And she points at Iris. She says, I know. I saw visions. I know what you brought to the city. And if you were anyone other than someone I dearly love, you would have met your final death.
What?
That is not our concern, though, because I do dearly love you. And I have this to say before any of the others get here. No matter what happens the next few nights, it's very imperative that none of you are taken alive. If the SI gets you.
What the fuck?
Do you understand? If you are captured, you do not go willingly, and you do not go where they can learn more of you.
Iris kind of hangs her head.
From what I have gathered, from what I can find, the information that was gleaned from your whatever happened to you in Las Vegas, I only know that you were caught, and I can put two and two together. The group that attacked Roger and Avery's dwelling, they had instruments that allowed them to see upon certain light bands, infrared and beyond, of some sort, where they can see us whether we are hidden or not. How they have that, what it is, I do not know, and it is terrifying that they do. I also know that they know to steal their minds mentally, and when they go in, they play loud music in their ears and have a visor that they can pull down over their eyes so they don't see you mouthing things at them. This is what I have learned. It came at a cost to learn this.
Did she?
She sent that after Roger and Avery?
No.
Is that what she's saying?
No.
Okay.
Iris
She's
thinks
saying it took a lot, and there was some, she says, I have cashed in boons that I hoped never to have to cash in. I will leave it at that. So again, I tell you this because you are coterie mates of her, and they are who she is who they are looking for. Their words. I also say this to let you know who you are running with. If you choose not to be a coterie anymore, I will protect you, Iris. If you choose to continue to run together, I need you all to swear to me that you will watch after her. And should she be captured again, do not let them take her alive.
What the fuck?
And her eyes get really red at that.
What the fuck?
Iris, I love you dearly, but you cannot keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, I know.
You vomit the truth
Only
upon
when I'm
being fearful.
Yeah.
It is something that I am afraid you would do in their capture as well.
I didn't last time.
Did you have anything to gain by giving information on anyone else in the city?
No.
Would they have bargained with you for anyone else, for information on any others?
They sure didn't even try.
They were a loose organization those years ago.
I'd hate to
Very
see them
new.
tight.
It is terrifying beyond belief. She says the Sabbat are but playthings, children's games, compared to what we deal with these nights. And I do not say this to make you any more afraid than you already should be. Do we understand one another? All of us?
Cinta's nodding her head, but she's sitting there thinking, how the crap could you be like, oh, just kill her?
It's not just a thing. You can tell this was something very hard for her
I
to
know,
say.
but it's just, Vicenta's just a different mindset.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
even for humanity.
But you have to think of someone who's looking at a greater cost to a city and is a ruler.
I stepped out for a quick second. Did you just say we had to kill Iris if she did something?
If she gets caught, if the SI is capturing her again, the prince is telling us that we have to make sure they do not take her alive.
So
Well,
we'll
she
have
said
to,
that for all of us.
Well,
Yes.
all of us,
Yes.
yes, but
I think Bob would probably be like, my friends are dead because of her. I'm at a loss. I don't know. I know it wasn't intentional.
your friends are dead because the Lady of Fate willed it, Mr. Stokely.
Nonsense. Bastard mortals who have an agenda and a budget willed this. I intend to do what I can on my end about the second part. I cannot handle the first. Dogmatism cannot be cleansed as easily as bank accounts and checkbooks. You understand? I have connections. I have pull. It will take doing, but I intend to snip their wings on their funding if I can at all possible. That is mine to reveal to you, and I will not tell any others. Antonio knows. Karen knows. And that is all I care to know.
Is there a way that we could...
Antonio, you may come back in. She's always doing that crap, you know. So, yeah.
And he's... is there a way that we could have them think they got Iris and obviously keep her safe?
Possibly.
Maybe
it is
that
something that has crossed my mind.
Maybe that would cool down the heat that's on the city right now.
do you know if...
Iris, do you know? Go ahead.
Sorry. Do you know if Catherine Morel is actually running this
As
organization?
far as I can tell, yes. She is the one that brought this to our city.
Is she in charge, or is she simply trying to regain favor? Information Mr. Ducard was able to obtain said that she was terminated in her last posting. Is that correct, Mr. Ducard?
Yes.
Yes, as far as I know from Las Vegas, she was let go because of you. However, time and who you know can fix a lot of that. And she failed upwards into our part of the country, into a place known for our kind, even in the popular culture. And it's something that you can get fanatics, dogmatists, those who want to persecute an other to put their money behind. Those military budgets have to be spent somewhere. And people who have contractor friends running experimental technology are all too willing to write a check and receive checks in kind. These are what grease the wheels. I intend to remove the grease. They will be back if we were to handle her. And she says this looking at you like she knows something, but doesn't flat out say it. Just kind of when she says what she's about to say, just kind of looks at you and she says, there are those who would replace her. We get rid of her. We cut the head off the snake, but the snake is not a snake. It is a hydra. We must be cautious in how we move. But one thing we have that they do not is time. We have lots of that. And if we lay low long enough, if things get bad enough, and we hide and we take precautions and live how we have to live, eventually people die. And when results don't happen, or we direct attention elsewhere, maybe a town to the west of us, then perhaps things get better here. Cannot say much more other than I hope we all meet like this again in the years to come, under different circumstances. Now, I believe it's time for our meeting, is it not, Antonio? And he goes, yes, they've arrived. Excellent. Well, let's all go, shall we? So you're all getting up?
Yep.
Not you, dear. I and Antonio need to speak with you first.
She's staying.
Okay.
She kind of didn't know if she was supposed to go anyway.
Yeah. You are not Camarilla. You cannot attend this. Are you all getting up to go? Antonio says if you go down the hall, directs you and how to get to this dining area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or do you want to try to be sneaky snake?
I think after, no offense, I don't think Bob would care enough. So I think he's more concerned with what's going on.
I understand. Okay. So it's just you and Ig in the room. With the Prince of the City of New Orleans.
And you said Tony C was going to talk, right?
Yes. He's also there. Antonio, please close the door. Put one of your wards up against Canites, please. And he begins to scry and mumble to himself on the ground, and you see him pulling things from pockets. And
What's a canite again?
you.
That's us.
Kindred.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Weird.
I'll be very direct because we haven't much time. Is it up? Yes, my prince. It should work momentarily. Wonderful. I will, again, be brief. Would you serve the Camarilla if I were to provide something for you? If I were to provide release, if Antonio was to provide release from your husband's affliction?
She looks at Ig. I mean, this is concerning him.
And he looks at you like, what is she talking about? That man's a gargoyle.
Would he still remain my husband
Yes, my prince. Spiritually, yes. And he kind of gulps, because you can tell this is difficult for him to talk about. And he's got a bag.
Mm-hmm.
He goes kind of rummaging through the bag and pulls out this large leather-bound old book written in German. Do you read German?
No.
Okay. He looks at it and he says, this book was written a very, very long time ago by one of my clan named Verstania. She is the mother of gargoyles. The first creator. Verstania was different than what my clan is known for in the past. Verstania loved her creations and nurtured them and cared for them as her own children. These are her early teachings and methods. And I believe we can separate the two spirits. You see, it's difficult. The best way I can explain it to you from your clan is that the soul was split in two when this happened those years ago. One Ignacio, one
Ferox.
Yes. In time, the split soul tries to bind, but over the course of hundreds of years, drifting from one another, separate, they become their own in time. The spirit that is your husband dwells there. The spirit that is not does as well. We would have to give them their own vessels again. The issue is, if I'm quite honest, I do not know which spirit will go to which vessel. Meaning, your husband will be your husband, but he may not look the same. He's like, why are you guys talking about me like I'm not here?
That is a very good question, my dear. This is Ignacio's choice.
What are you? I'm a gargoyle. All I do is I have weird dreams and I forget things. That's it. And
This is weird for her because they've had this conversation.
yeah, I know. And he's forgetting more. And you are not having the blush of life now. Well, fucking of course I am. I'm not going to walk around in the city streets looking dead. And Antonio flicks on a light, kind of dimly lit in Iris's room. And then the three of you see it. The prince even lets out a small, not afraid gasp, but just yep, I was right. His skin is, no doubt about it, a gray pallor. Jawline, maybe a little more chiseled, defined, cheekbones higher, protruding more than they were before.
Is there a mirror in Vicenta's bag?
Yeah.
She hands him the little compact mirror.
What the fuck? Did you do this with your...
No, my dear.
What the fuck? The wolf we feed, dear Ignacio. The wolf we feed.
What?
And the prince looks at you. You are feeding the wolf.
She's saying Vicenta is feeding the wolf? The gargoyle wolf inside Ig?
Yes.
With her presence or?
Yes.
What? So out of character, I'm a little confused.
Should be. This is some Twin Peaks shit.
So the original soul in the body was Philip. Philip is not there. He's gone.
Right.
So It's Ignacio's soul
Yes.
plus Ferox's.
That's in the call.
Ferox is in the call.
What call?
Okay, I had the vision of the call.
Uh-huh.
So Ferox is in the call, but Ignacio's spirit was not. He was pulled back from somewhere,
But something came with him.
which was the call of Ferox.
The soul was split. It cannot cross incomplete, even if it's become its own.
So that means if I separate him, then he's forever here.
Yes.
There's no chance for transcendence or anything like that. They don't know. Why am I
Yeah,
asking?
they be like, what the
Yeah,
fuck do you
he
mean?
looks at you. That is your world.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if she buys that. Transcendence is a weird thing. It'll work however it needs to work. This is your choice. But we can separate the two. Antonio can. I cannot.
What do you want?
Out of character, not to be an selfish asshole, but I don't know what's least selfish.
I don't know. I would ask about the other vessel.
Right,
I mean,
what
what are we
ha-
risking here,
Right.
body-wise?
How was he brought back? I'm just going to assume what Monica said came out of your mouth.
Yes.
Because, yeah, you were nodding along.
That is a very good question, Mr. Kalbashari. I do not know.
You have things that you call ghosts with, correct? I believe they're artifacts that...
The fetters.
Yes. One had to be here to bring these spirits.
The hand?
The body parts. If there is a remnant of the body.
And do you know of where we may find one?
It's in an envelope. Are you talking about a part of Ferox's body, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's actually in an envelope. And she describes where she threw it because she probably left it.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
in your apartment.
Yeah.
Well, yes, that...
I believe your Erasmus was kind enough to deposit that.
He put it in an envelope.
A vacuum sealed bag.
And then the queen goes, that is very thoughtful of
You
you.
mean the prince?
But yes, no, the queen, I said. No, the prince. She goes, that's very thoughtful of him. Like she genuinely thinks, yeah, that's nice.
It was not very thoughtful to give it to my brother and tell him to wield it against myself and my husband. Not so thoughtful.
No. How long ago was it given?
It was a couple months back.
Tomato, tomato.
I imagine that it was brought from Venice. And she looks at Ix, she goes, forgive me, my dear. I did not think to look when we were there.
Why would you, right? It's fucking bones. There's bones everywhere in that fucking place.
I suspect it was originally brought by Ella Messina or Ladonna or Moldo. Pick one.
This is a heavy decision, but you have what we need to make it happen. This is Antonia. I would give you time to make your choice about assistance, about the Camarilla. The city is
I am willing.
very much on fire, and we need all the allies we can get. But we have to have allegiance so that we know we're all on the same page.
There is a representative from Venice that has been in contact with me. I sent word out that I would like a blood hunt on Lapis after the incident in downtown. She has knowledge of Oblivion that she should not.
I see.
They would like to meet with myself and Mr. Ducard to discuss some matter that I am not familiar with.
Very well.
I tell you this because there is a possibility that 2028 never need come here to this city.
The prince just nods. On that note, we are bargaining. Let us go downstairs.
And she's going to take Ig with her because he needs to listen and...
Yeah,
I thought they weren't allowed at the meeting.
that just changed. She motions her hand
Oh,
to step this way. And you know what that means if you step through that door. No doubt about it.
What?
you're Camarilla.
You started the process.
Of negotiation. It's not just like I am Camarilla, fuck the Hecata, but she's perfectly willing to negotiate with them. They can even negotiate their own little promise of New Orleans or whatever.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Meanwhile, the three of you sit across from a long table. Morgaine right next to Andre.
She is salty.
No. She is just buttering you up. And she's like, I'm so sorry about your sire and everything that's happening to you. But I am so glad that you are here with us and on our side.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So, what do you know about why we're here?
He's like looking to see if the prince is walking back in.
Yeah. She's not yet. This is all happening up there. She does break the board before.
Yeah.
Has Antonio break the board before you all before you all go out.
As far as I know, we have a little bit of an SI problem.
Yes, we do. We do. Yes. She looks right at you.
Poor baby Iris.
Word travels fast. We've already discussed things.
What did you discuss?
That you may be the reason they're here.
I am.
See, I'm not the one you need to ask.
I'm so sorry for you.
Yeah, I am too.
I think Bob would be shaking his head, just like, oh my God, she just won't shut up.
Everyone knows.
Yeah.
She said everybody knows.
And that makes sense why you're here now then. Okay. I see. Karen, I was right. And Karen just goes, well, we'll see. We'll see.
They're primogens of their respective clans, right?
Both of them are, yes.
So it's just Bob and Iris that aren't primogens.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bob might be by default now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll
Unless
have to check in
Roger.
on Roger, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Roger's going to be mentally capable of being primogen.
Iris
see.
has just been avoiding Bob's eyes, like, super guilty from what he said. Like, she's the reason my friends are dead. She feels awful. So she's just trying, like, not to look at him in shame.
That's okay. Vicenta's coming to soothe you and assure you nothing is your fault. You've never done anything wrong ever in
Precious
your
little
life.
babe.
It's just a baby.
I've not done anything wrong ever in my life.
Vicenta and the prince,
Yeah.
we know this, and we love you. And Erasmus.
Bob's over here pointing at a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
All right. So they do enter in due time. And both Karen and Morgaine look really like, what the fuck, as you and Ig both walk in the room. And the prince goes, Negotiations. They are allowed at the table. They are in as much danger as we all are. You are the prince, Morgaine says, kind of tilts back and puts her arm around the other side of your chair to kind of prop herself up.
Andre's just kind of like looking at it, just shaking his head.
I won't waste much of your time. We don't need to be here long for obvious reasons. First order of business, I have to make decrees. They're never fun, but I have to do them. The first one is, after tonight, anyone besides Mr. Kalbashari cannot live here anymore. New arrangements will be made for you in various parts of the city. Nor can you live next to one another.
Oh.
It's too dangerous. We must be spread apart. But again, arrangements by people we trust will take care of this. We'll take care of you. Second order of business. Replacements to those that we've lost.
Oh.
I think Bob just hangs his head.
Oh.
With regret, you all know of the fate of Avery and Elvis. While he is not here with us tonight, I'm just kidding, he's been here the whole time and you've not known. And Roger appears in the corner. Roger shall be our new primogen of Clan Nosferatu. He has vengeance very much in his heart, and we shall give that to you, Roger. I promise you. Second order of business is the announcement of our new sheriff. Looking right at you, she says, Karen Chantry shall be our new sheriff.
Oh.
Karen is willing to do what it takes to infiltrate. We need muscle, but we need someone who can get in and destroy things how I want them destroyed. She has the capabilities that I need. But I also need brawn, which is why, Mr. Stokely, if you would accept, I only make decrees about things that people have agreed to, I would have you be our scourge.
Oh.
Is that like a deputy?
It is, and it's a deputy of whoop ass.
Mm-hmm.
They are the muscle to go out and beat people's asses. The sheriff goes, hey, that guy's an asshole, go get him.
Got it.
And the scourge is the enforcer.
I accept.
Oh.
No thought about it, huh?
Nope. It might be the position he actually wanted.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And it's like she knew this, just from your conversation and your reluctance. You'll be working closely with Karen. When she needs physical backup, of course, you will be there.
Of course.
Morgaine is the new keeper of Elysium as well as our harpy. The jobs, unfortunately, are less in demand now. We have fewer of us, so she will handle both until further notice, until the city is safer and we have more that we can trust. The other matter is our former sheriff. Negotiations were made with him. We tried to reach out and knew he was in Baton Rouge with his blood-bonded bride-to-be. And we got this back. And she reaches, in her dress, pulls out of her bra a set of Polaroids. This was written by my retainer's blood. I think the message is pretty clear.
Oh shit.
And it just says, fuck you.
Oh fuck. Okay, we need to send the SI over there.
Are you saying that?
No.
Okay.
No. But no.
A war on three fronts. I have it on good authority from the Prince of the city of Baton Rouge. title only. That city is very much Anarch controlled now. Let's make no mincing of words. Which is very much an irony, seeing it as the seat of the government of our state, but no, not deal with that matter. The one that still calls himself Prince is at least useful enough to get us some information on whereabouts and who has entered his city. You know the Prince, just out of character. It's a Nosferatu named Lawrence Meeks.
Okay.
Lawrence, yes, there used to be a Camarilla. It's always been tenuous at best, but in the last several years, especially with the SI presence and people seeing what happened in the New Orleans Special Task Force, especially post-Katrina, the system of control and government there as far as Camarilla control was upended. There was an Anarch revolt and it was successful. It's also why a lot of people believe that the Camarilla is maybe not as strong as it used to be in New Orleans, because it's under constant assault from not only Sabbat, but Anarch sympathizers. Not that you've ever met any, but hey, we're running a Camarilla Chronicle, so maybe they'll show up.
I mean, isn't Iris an anarchist?
I'm not really anything.
None of us know that.
Yeah. Wait.
I don't
He's
think
saying
no.
that like, nuh-uh. Because you're in a room with the prince of the city.
Oh.
Yeah. I have to be Cam by default now.
I mean, you were kind of Anarch by default last time,
Yeah,
too.
I just go where the wind takes me.
I'm a free spirit, man.
Yeah, I am.
Sounds pretty anarchish. I don't know.
That is our matter of business. It has been announced. Our keeper and harpy shall make sure that the kindred still with the Camarilla know, and also reinforce the no phones rule. Communication done in secret and very much trusted at discretion is in order. I will open the floor for questions, which is not my normal routine, but these are not normal nights. Does anyone have any? And Morgaine and Karen both look really happy.
Oh, I thought you were going to say.
No,
Ask
they're
a
not.
question.
Yeah, they're not asking questions. They just look really pleased, and it's like they're waiting for you to ask questions.
I don't like these bitches either.
That's not a question.
I didn't say that out loud.
How's Bob feeling?
I think Bob is fine. Bob didn't really want to be sheriff.
Right.
I think the prince is cleaning some more house because I don't think she really likes Karen or Morgaine. And it's funny that she's putting them... I don't know. That's just...
Yeah, I think Bob questions the decision to make Karen, but he's not going to say anything out loud.
Well, if you'll think, just player knowledge, you certainly can question it. Bob can question it. But think of your conversation that was just had in the other room about how he's trying. She wants to weaken
Yeah.
the influence in the city, and think about who moves in those worlds besides Andre.
Wait, hold on, what?
The Ventru
Yeah.
move and do stuff, politically, socially,
So having
economically.
her be sheriff, like, weakens her pull?
No, it strengthens it.
Right.
But it spearheads her at the prince, saying, hey, now that you've got this position, this is what I want you to do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Ventru, good with money, and she's trying to cut off funding for the SI, so it makes sense that she put a sheriff in. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Okay,
This is not a war she wants to fight physically.
got you.
This is
Got it. Makes sense now.
she's
Okay.
trying to bleed them.
Yeah, because I don't think we stand a chance if we like fighting toe to toe with them.
I don't know. Is there any questions that we should be asking?
I don't know what
Yeah,
I want to ask in front of Morgan and
Yeah.
Karen,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know what the trustworthiness, because they've like literally like casted to blood hunt us.
Yeah. And that comes up as you guys sit there not asking questions. Morgan goes, yes, my prince, I have one. Why is she still alive?
Who said that?
Morgan.
That Toreador bitch.
I just stare
Why
at her.
is she, at the very least, why is she still in the city?
I could go to Baton Rouge, find some old pals there,
No.
make a scene.
My
and
dear,
then
you
leave.
are just fine. And should you need refuge in the city, then Clenacata will welcome you with open arms.
And why is she here too? And him?
He's here because he's married to me.
Ah, your lapdog.
You would know all about that. I'm just kidding, guys.
Do it, say it.
No.
It's just questions, my prince. And the prince gives her one of those Daenerys smiles and says, well, to answer your questions, my dear Morgaine, the first one is because I like her.
Iris nods. Yeah.
I like the prince a little better now.
And the second one is I like them too.
Now I'm scared.
And that's all you need to fucking know.
Oh!
And it's because they're Camarilla. And we protect our own. And both of them get really quiet and look at each other. What's the word in the Hells Angels? Prospects.
I don't know what that means.
It means not
Your
yet.
prospective members, you two.
Morgan did vote to have us killed, right?
Yes,
Yes.
they both did.
Yeah, they both
They
did.
both did. Okay.
Yeah, because I don't know she has beef with El Messina, but she has beef with El Messina.
She goes, that's all I needed to know. Welcome. We shall do everything in our power to protect you all.
Thank you.
How are
Thanks
we
for
to
leading that.
How are we to trust that when you voted to have us killed?
That was not personal. That was strictly political. You have to understand these games we play. If it looks unanimous, it looks like we're all in the prince's pocket, doesn't it? And that there isn't just one autocrat who tells us all to do everything and we have to do it whether we want to or not.
Who are you?
But it's certainly not that way, is it?
Who are you putting
Oh.
on that play for?
You, until we trust you.
But you.
The others that are at court, whom we may not know their true motivations. I don't trust. Sometimes I don't trust myself, much less any of you in this room. But we all have to survive, and that's what we intend to do. And our ancestry dictates that we are all stronger together. We are, after all, all human of a different kind. And that's how we've survived through the ages. Now, we don't always have to see eye to eye. But when times are tough, we do have to band together.
I see why she's sheriff.
Who was
No,
that?
this is Morgan.
That was
Yeah.
Morgan.
Oh, I thought this was the politically savvy one
Yeah.
because that was a politician speech.
Well, maybe it was Karen. Let's just have it, since I can't do a limited range, let's just say that was Karen.
Okay.
It's just business part. Yeah.
Because Karen voted against us too, so either
yeah,
one
no,
of them.
I think that's better, Monica. I like where you went with that. Yeah.
That's a pretty good excuse for Ventru. What about her?
Oh,
I'm playing the game too. You want to play games?
You're all about playing games.
They're fun.
I don't think you're on Andre's level.
Maybe not. He'll get there. Well, it is time we depart. Now that we are all in agreement about positions and new living arrangements. We won't be meeting like this again. Andre, I do have to tell you, your man that did reach out to us and set this all up, a very good gentleman. You've found quite a retainer to work for you. A ghoul, I suppose.
Yes, Winston.
Yes. Very well done. I need to speak with you privately.
I need to speak with you privately. This works out perfectly.
Anyone that needs to speak with me privately, Mr. Kelbashar, do you mind if I use your bedroom?
That's quite.
He goes, no, my prince, that's fine. Thank you.
Very medieval.
Maybe. She goes back, and Morgaine goes in.
That wasn't a dig. That was just.
Yeah, Morgaine goes in, Karen goes in, both of them, and they begin to talk. It's a very brief conversation.
Ooh, can I use heightened senses?
Yes.
Get fucked, bitches!
Would the prince know that you're spying on them?
Likely.
Because I feel like the prince is like pretty omnipotent.
Well, you all know, if you live long enough, you know pretty much everything that vampires can do, and you also know that they will surprise you as well.
Yeah.
That there are things you may not have ever seen.
Yeah, if she really wanted to not be heard, she would have left the building.
Right.
Right.
Get fucked!
Crit?
So 4, 5, 6, 7!
Oh my god.
And it was a difficulty 3.
Okay.
And so I get to... Okay, so it says...
Hope you had this conversation planned out.
No, I'm eavesdropping.
No, I'm talking to Ryan.
Okay.
I'm talking to Ryan.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine.
It says, add your Auspex rating to all perception-based tests. Extreme stimuli, flashes, intense light, overpowering smells. While the power is active, can impose a -3 dice to all perception-based tests for the rest of the scene, unless you dampen your senses. Keeping the power active for longer periods, especially in these cases, might require a willpower spend. Okay, so I turned it on.
Uh-huh. You'll get to add your dots of...
Yes.
Yeah.
With perception plus...
I'm going to do this since you did so well and you need something for it. I'm just going to make that your roll.
Yay!
I'll just speed it up. You get... They're talking very low tones. So even sitting where you're sitting and listening. And if anybody talks right now, it'll be like... Yeah, just loud in her ears.
Yeah, I think Bob would have went up to talk to Roger.
Yeah. And we'll get to that.
Okay.
And you hear just, are you sure? I mean, they're so long that they've not. And she just goes, times change. We'll see.
They're so long and they've not.
It's been so long and they've not. And for all our sakes, I hope you're right. No? I know I am. Now, she's listening, so we need to...
She turns it off and she does chuckle. Like, she doesn't even care.
Yeah. Neither did the prince.
Iris wants to stand up, and looking at the table, she says very loudly to the room, I just want to say I'm very sorry for putting you all in this situation, and that was not my intent. And then she's just gonna go back up to her room. Oh.
From the corner, maybe you've never even heard him talk. Wait.
Uh-oh.
She turns toward him, still looking at the floor.
Avery. Elvis.
She nods.
What will you do to make this right?
Whatever the prince tells me to. I can't claim to be smart enough to come up with a plan.
That is apparent. You had better make this right. And whatever she sees in you, and the red is rolling at this point, had better be worth it.
She nods at him.
I have made promises, and I will keep them. But I will watch you.
I understand.
Robert, if you wish to speak to me, I will not speak in her presence. It pains me too much.
I understand.
She goes upstairs.
Iris, come here.
Okay. I go to
Come here, baby. You want a little rat snack? All right. He walks out and he obfuscates, as you're walking, and expects you to keep up.
Okay.
Very hushed tone so as to not give yourselves away, And if any of the tenants that live there, mostly blood dolls, if we're honest, of some sort, are ghouls, It's a very vampire building at this point. He makes sure to be quiet if anybody's walking down the hall, to not reveal yourselves. You're pros at these sort of things at this point. So I'm not going to make you roll for it.
Okay.
I'm not even going to make you rouse check for it.
Okay.
Because you're taking time to, it's not a heat of the moment thing.
I'm so sorry. I tried to save him. I couldn't.
I know you did.
Ryan, did he have any rings or anything on the arm that I actually?
Oh,
He
God.
did have a wedding ring, yes.
Oh, my God.
I would have taken that and
He just kind of,
reach out and give it to.
you hear a thud of him falling to his knees when it's placed in his hand. He just starts to kind of softly sob. He rematerializes at that because he can't. He just kind of, runs off to a hall expecting you to follow. And he's just like, what do I do? What do I do now?
We have to keep going.
How? There's two of us, Bob.
I know.
Shit, there's only one of me.
Oh, there's pussy!
It's different for Clan Nosferatu. In their minds, that's it. It's clan first.
Yep. We have to rebuild. I know it's not the time to think about it.
No,
Kiki time.
no, it's not.
Kiki, get in here.
I don't know if I can stay here. I told her I would take this position because I want revenge. So bad. I want them dead. I want them all dead. I want to see the lights fade from their eyes as I choke the life out of them. I want that, but it won't bring him back.
It will not. And Roger, you have to stay. Avery would want you to stay under control.
I know he would, and I'm trying. I'm trying so hard for him. Bob, you got to promise me something.
What?
If you find the ones that actually did this, I'm not talking about the ones ordering it. I'm talking about the ones pulling the triggers. I want them.
I will do my best.
I want them.
I will do my best.
You were like a brother to me. You were like a brother to Avery. I don't know if you knew that. We don't trust many people. For obvious reasons in this town, but we trust you. And I ask you this not because I don't trust you, because I have to know. Please reveal yourself to me.
Okay.
Did you have anything to do with this?
What?
I know you didn't, but I needed to hear you say it.
No, I came to talk to Avery and you about what we talked about, and that was it. I had no clue. Did you hear about Robert Carter?
Yes,
I'm assuming they got the information out of him.
I think so. I think so too. I'm sorry I asked. Things go through my mind, and I don't.
I don't trust many people either. I don't trust my coterie fully.
I wouldn't.
I did trust Avery. I trust you. We have to stick together.
Yes. I will. It's a nest of vipers, but we listen and we stay low, and I'm better at it than anyone I know. If I hear anything pointed against you, I will tell you.
Thank you.
I would like the same kindness very much.
Of course.
Thank you, my brother.
I'm going to ask the prince that, not right now, but I'm going to ask the sire, Shakidra.
I will back your bid.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And he gives you a hug and feels kind of awkward for it, and then just kind of awkward kid in school walks off.
Yeah, I think like Bob would kind of like grab him, and like, I will be there for you. I promise you.
Thank you. And I for you.
Poor Roger.
And he just kind of goes off.
Yeah. And Bob's going to go back to the banquet hall or whatever it was.
And the sound of fast footsteps and soft sobs in the distance as you leave. What's Andre doing?
I'm waiting on the prince.
Out come the girls, and in goes Andre.
Wonderful.
Andre,
My prince?
this is the last time we do this.
Yes.
And she extends her wrist.
Yep.
Do you bite?
I mean, I figured, yeah.
Yeah. All right. What hunger are you at?
1.
You stay there. But you are blood bonded completely to her. She is the best thing since sliced bread. She can do no wrong, will do no wrong, and you love her unconditionally, at least till a year is up.
Mm-hmm. It's fine. It's better her than Sierra.
Yes. And she licks the wound and she says, I don't like that I have to play these games and do things to people like this. But your sire proved that there is danger in not respecting tradition. Andre, you mentioned, I think you mentioned, I'm cross my fingers. Did you say something about Morel to her?
I haven't.
Mm-hmm.
Did I?
No, he said something to...
I said something to Tony C about
Tony
it.
C.
Yes. Okay.
So you could say Tony C filled her in.
Yeah,
or
I'll
something.
just say that.
I was good. That's what I was going to
Yeah,
speak
and
to
I figured
her.
that's why I'm trying to get there.
Yeah.
What do you have in mind?
On how to approach the Catherine Morel situation.
Yes.
She, last night, or earlier this night, she wants me to be at a meeting in the afternoon, clearly sizing me up.
Awesome.
She asked a lot about what we would do if Rollins lost. And it makes me think that she might know more about me than I suspect.
I think she knows politics.
Does she know La Sombra?
I don't know.
Because it's pretty convenient that she...
I think she's very conservative. She's very conservative, Andre. This candidate speaks to her. You represent the candidate financially and also politically. But I will be honest with you. I support her opponent, and your candidate will not win. Since the 1800s, there has not been a Republican mayor in this city. And this election will be no different. That is not a matter of control, it is a matter of fact.
So how do we sabotage Butch Rollins?
We don't. Butch Rollins will sabotage himself. But she is smart enough to know that he doesn't stand a chance. This gets his face out there. There is a name recognized with this. Doing something else on the state stage becomes more possible. For while New Orleans is a very left-leaning city, the rest of our state is far from it.
Right.
Representing this parish with the way things can be gerrymandered depending on where he lives. Does live in a nice part of town, does he not?
Yes, he does.
Convenient that. It always seems to be the way, isn't it? I'm sure he'll have no trouble winning a position on state legislature of some sort. But name recognition first.
Hey.
If he's too stupid to realize that's the next play, then you may need to help him understand. But someone in our pocket there, longer term, benefits us. Benefits her too. Because then that is federal and state funding coming her direction. And a federal branch of a division welcome in the state of Louisiana. Stopping the crime. Stopping the crime in the liberal hellhole where the quote-unquote undesirables live. Infuriating to no end. To call the people in the city, I love that.
So we sever her connection to Butch?
Yes. We make her no longer valuable to him.
I've already instilled distrust on his end in
Wonderful.
her.
Wonderful.
I assume I will be having another meeting with her very soon.
I'm sure when you don't show up for her lunch meeting, she'll want one in the evening.
Of course.
Be careful.
What I wanted to speak with you about was because of their knowledge of Iris's dominate powers.
Yes.
You know, I know how to, there's two things I know how to do really good. And that's dominate someone's mind or rip their head out of their neck.
Yes.
Now, with
the
Catherine,
second one, yes, the second one is not an option right now.
it is not. But the first one seems...
It's tricky because if she ever learns that you've done it, then she does know.
Mm-hmm.
Better to do this the old-fashioned way, Andre. Leave room for doubt. Unless you can't. But you're smart enough to have made it this far.
So I shouldn't mesmerize her or make her think that maybe we did have a meeting in the afternoon.
Perhaps that would be as far as I go. But then, what if she's talking to one of her cohorts? And they ask how the meeting went? Because certainly she didn't go there by herself. And she says it went fine. And discusses what you discussed, but you never discussed that. You never were there. And they were watching the whole time.
Well, then I guess I was just busy.
Wonderful. Things to think of. Because they are... Time is a circle, Andre. I've said this before. I don't know if you've heard me say it.
Yes, and it gets more confusing every time you say it.
There's a movie that I communicate to Iris through.
Yes, I've seen a movie that pops on her TV a lot.
That movie is playing out in front of us now.
A Bug's Life?
We are the grasshoppers.
Oh, we're the grasshoppers.
Yes.
I thought we were the ants.
I wish we were. We are not. We are stronger, smarter, better in every way. The way we are inferior is sheer numbers.
I don't know how to approach Catherine Morell, because if I can't intimidate her, I can't dominate her, or I can't rip her head off, then I can't.
I mean, if you had Winston wake you up prematurely and you could talk to her on the phone during the day, that might be enough to throw her off. You're too busy to go meet at
Or
Cafe
you're
Du
feeling
Monde.
sick, yeah.
You know, or
I'm telling you that as a GM. Yeah.
you know, or it's something. But I'm just saying, like, there are instances where you can be woken up prematurely.
But a phone call
Yeah.
as a La Sombra?
Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, over speakerphone,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, you know, look, I'm in between meetings. You know, I've got like
From
5
afar?
minutes.
I'm like yelling.
Just be like, my phone is dying. It's been a hell of a day.
Yeah, just enough. You don't even have to have the full meeting,
That's
but just enough for her to speak to you during daylight hours to where she's like, oh, well, it's certainly couldn't be doing that if he was a blank body.
that's fine.
You know,
That works for the phone call. It doesn't
Now,
answer
Andre,
my full question.
I'm not saying don't. You have gifts.
I don't see how they're useful then.
It's just you have to make sure that there are no, if you change her mind about something, there can be no one that would tell her otherwise. If you persuade her to do something, it has to be something she would likely do anyway. If you told her to, for example, pack up and leave the city of New Orleans, that would immediately arouse suspicion in her other co-workers who know what we can do. At least as far as hiding and controlling the mind and healing ourselves and drinking sheep blood.
I didn't plan on using it to get her to leave the city.
No, and I don't mean to say that you would.
It's just to get her off my back.
That would be okay. I'm not telling you not to. I'm just telling you, make sure it's clear. That's all. I trust your judgment.
Well, I'm going to have to speak with her tomorrow. If anything, what I was going to do was sit her down and make her tell me why she's really here.
I think that could be something that you could get out of her and make it feel natural. All in how you word the questions, right?
Yeah.
And if she's just trusting you and the alcohol's flowing or something, who knows?
We need more information about her connection with the SI, how big they are. We need more information about them to know. We need to know what they know, or else we're going to get hit by surprise.
And I would ask that you let Karen know as soon as you get that information. I will give you a name and a mailbox to drop a letter in to get in touch with a contact. And she writes down on a piece of paper this name, folds it up before you can even look at it, and says, remember that when you get home, and then destroy it.
Okay.
Now, Andre, I have others to speak to, but if you have anything else you would like to ask, please.
I'll have Winston speak to your people.
Excellent.
Thank you, my prince.
You are welcome. All right. Anybody else wanting to go in there?
Yeah, Bob definitely wants to go in there.
Okay.
Did Karen stop or anything and say anything to her new scourge on her way?
She would have if you had been in there.
Because she left before I got before.
Right.
Okay.
Right. If you were, it was while
Well, okay.
Roger and you
Yeah.
were talking.
That's fine.
But you do. I'll just wave the hand. You know how to get in touch with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whenever it's open, Bob would go in.
Okay. It is.
All right. My prince.
Robert.
This is a tense time, is it not?
Slightly. Yes.
I was there. I don't know if you know. I don't know how much you know.
I do know. And I'm sorry.
I'm trying to think long term here. We need more of us.
We do.
I have had a retainer for years. I don't even know how many.
You have my blessing. After Vicenta makes her decision.
I think Bob would shake his head and say, I don't mean to be crass, but would she be more useful as a human walking in the daylight now?
That remains to be seen. There are possibilities. We will have to discuss them. But once we have a decision, we can talk.
Thank you, my prince.
You're welcome.
Why does that? Why does Vicenta need to make a decision for that?
Maybe to see if the solution works with him. I don't know. That may be too much to deal with. Or, I don't know.
Yeah, you know what?
Or is it just to put pressure on Vicenta?
Actually, I think Bob would. I don't mean to question, and I won't question if you tell me that it's because of your reasoning, but why until Vicenta makes her decision?
Because we can use them as allies and spy and get information that we may not otherwise be able to get. And depending on what choice she makes, whether or not they just accept with no other part of our agreement, or whether they accept a certain part of the agreement, shall determine steps forward for us.
Do you trust Iris completely?
No. But I love her.
Do you trust her to tell you the truth?
No. Yes, actually, I do.
If you yell at me loud enough, yeah.
Yeah, that's.
She can't help but not, and it's an asset and a liability.
I've asked Vicenta to contact the spirit of Robert Carter.
I think that's a good decision.
I can't talk to them. I don't have that ability.
Iris can.
If Vicenta made her decision, would you trust her to at least tell me what's going on? Because I don't see why she would have to gain to lie, but
Vicenta cares for Iris maybe as much as I do. Let her be there. That will be enough.
okay. Thank you, my prince.
You're welcome. Is there anything else? Are you okay with your position, truly? It is one of violence. And one that I know rides a moral gray line sometimes.
I feel very violent indeed right now.
Excellent. And I made a good choice. Because we will need that. Hold on to it. Remember the fate of your friends and use that to fuel the fire that you will turn back on them. there will come a time. There will come a reckoning.
I worry for Roger.
As do I. That is also part of your job. I need you to understand. He will watch you, no doubt, and you will watch each other, and you will watch as the watchers watch, because that's what you are. You're watchers until it's time to do something. Like spiders hiding under a rock. Make sure he remains a watcher and not a doer out of time. He could very well get himself killed. And for the sake of vengeance, all of us.
Yeah. I think Bob would say that too. He's like, yeah. Maybe, honestly, I think maybe the gravity of it's finally hitting Bob, and
Yeah.
he's probably trying to fight back
Yeah.
some tears himself. Because it's just been anger and scared, then anger.
Yeah.
And so maybe he's finally getting to the point of like grief.
You can grieve here, but as my scourge, you will not in front of any of the other kindred until this is over. Grieve as you will. Grieve on your own. Grieve in front of your retainer. Do not grieve in front of the other kindred. You must show no weakness in these nights.
Yes, my prince.
Thank you for your service.
I think Bob would make sure his eyes were dry,
Yeah.
stand up, tall, walk out.
Okay. Next one.
Iris, are you going to talk to her?
Yeah, I'll talk to Vicenta because you called me over.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't have anything to say to the prince, really.
Oh.
I don't think. Well, she doesn't want to. She feels like it would look bad because people are already like, why the fuck is she still here? And the prince just like, because I love her. So I feel like I should keep my distance, like not just go running to her. I don't know.
Vicenta just whispers in your ear, it was not your fault.
It's all my fault.
No, the Lady of Fate does what she will.
So the Lady of Fate just wants
Is
to
a
burn me
god.
up and burn up your brother and burn up those two nice Nosferatu? Because everyone I touch, everyone who comes near me burns, and so do I.
Fate is cruel.
Yeah. I'm treating
Trust
that.
me. And I know the sensations you feel when it feels like everything that you love turns to ash. But we will endure. You have safety within La Familia Giovanni de New Orleans.
Wow. This is the
Shadow.
Better that line, huh?
We will begin making plans to get you a new identity within the family.
Oh my gosh.
Iris Giovanni.
No, it would not be Iris anything. It would be one of the millions of recycled names that family uses where there's like 5 of each of them. So good fucking luck figuring out which one you're tracking if you don't have their social and everything else cross-fitted and they're all fucking related. It's a logistical fucking nightmare. And it's
Sweet.
done on purpose.
Okay.
Sweet.
She yeah, she would be kind of impressed by that and be like, if you're sure, but yeah, I'll think about it.
It is not without its own risk.
Yeah. I mean, it's a risk to your family too.
Their very name bears them risk.
Hiding from one threat in the shadow of another. Maybe it could work.
We shall see. It is the best we can offer at this time.
Well, I appreciate it.
But me and Ig kind of got to decide what we need to do. Mm-hmm. This involves Ig. I feel like...
The door is open.
Okay, I guess we'll go in. I guess we're going to talk in the Prince about this.
She's laid back staring at the ceiling.
On his bed?
Yeah.
Well, Prince Charity, what is it that you require of us?
What is it that you want? That determines what I require.
And she looks at Ig and she goes, I want help for my husband.
And he kind of nods like he's accepted something.
If that is what he wants.
That's what I'll do.
I don't know if I'm making the right decision on that one, but I don't know. I don't know what the alternative is.
And the circle breaks.
Oh.
The wheel bends a new direction. And your rhyme can stop. But you may get what you ask for, but not what you want. Do you understand? Did Antonio make the risks clear to you?
Not really.
Out of character, it's that Ig himself could end up in like a weird gargoyle body, right?
Correct.
And Ferox could end up in the human body.
Correct.
She don't give a shit about that. Now, Ig might have something to say about that.
Yeah, maybe you need to explain that to Ig.
I will explain that to Ig just so he understands the risks. Because, I mean, he's the one that's been wanting to jump off the roof and fly and shit. So he might think it's cool as hell.
That man really would be a gargoyle.
Antonio, because she can see you're explaining. Mm-hmm. And Iris, are you still there? I guess you could hear.
No, I went upstairs after I talked to Cinna.
Antonio, as you all are leaving, was like waiting outside out of respect. And knew that he would probably be called back in this moment. Antonio, as we understand it, there is a chance that the bodies could end up incorrect. One mind in one and one in the other, but maybe not in the way we intend. It's like, yes, my prince, that is correct. Do you understand, young man, what that means for you? And he goes, no. I look like a cartoon character? I don't know. It means you will be like your friend Mr. Stokely, and the nature of your business will have to be conducted as such.
What? He'll be like a Nosferatu.
He'll have to work in the shadows and not be seen.
Because he'll look like a gargoyle?
Yes.
Oh, I thought...
You cannot mask what you are.
Oh, he's not going to turn to stone and be trapped in a moving gargoyle body? He's going to be able to move?
You're not there to ask the question.
I'm Monica. I ain't... I'm confused.
I mean...
No, it's a physical form.
Oh, we could have a real gargoyle on our team.
I mean...
Swooping and shit.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Would you...
Everybody's going to be voting for Ig to get swapped.
Everyone's cheering and Vicenda's crying like, I was going to do a gargoyle. We're like, oh, that's so fucking cool.
To be fair, Vicenta doesn't care. Vicenta's a Cappadocian.
And Ig just kind of looks kind of scared at that, and he's just like, what?
It's your choice. It's your...
And what if I don't? And then Antonio kind of looks sad and says, the wolf that is fed shall win. He's like, what the fuck does any of this cryptic shit you all say mean?
Please speak plainly.
There are indeed strands of fate. And whether or not our prince believes such. She's like, whether she does or not. What was shall be, and the one inside you will win in time. It is already doing so, young man. And he kind of looks down and he goes, fuck. So it's a coin toss. 50-50, right? He just kind of, Antonio kind of sighs. Yes. It is old world German. As best as I can understand with those that I've consulted with. In Austria, yes.
Would it be better to consult with an actual old world German?
The ones that we need to are not where you would think they should be, if that's what you ask. Tremere would likely not be on that side of things. And that's who I would need to talk to truly get the answer.
Oh no, your asses go straight to oblivion. She doesn't mean to be offensive, but she's just like, oh no, that's... No offense, Mr. Calbashari, most of ours do as well. It's actually quite rare. I've heard of a shemiche.
Point taken.
But mainly it is Cappadocians and the Sombras. Sorry.
Well, there's our answer. We don't know. There is one, but no one's seen her in quite some time.
Where is she?
The last known whereabouts? Prague?
Oh, that's a bit out of my range.
Euro trip episode.
And your plane crashes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he just kind of nods and goes, so it gets worse or I take a chance. Fuck it. When can we do this? I'm like, what, week or two? And Antonio goes and points to the window, and there is a full moon.
Oh.
He says, this night.
Oh, that was a little sudden for Vicenta, too. She thought she was going to have time to process.
Unless you want to wait a month. And I don't know if we have a month. Well, I mean, I guess I'll need a few more skincare products, but hey, I'll just, right?
She just kisses him, and she's just telling him it won't matter to me. I know it might to you, but it won't to me.
You say that now.
I know that. I'm a Cappadocian. We rot.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Calbashari, we may have a deal, but what does that mean for us? A boon is owed, right? Prince Antonio goes, well, then I would defer that boon to the prince. The prince goes, and I would call that boon for you to join the Camarilla and pledge your loyalty tonight.
There is a way that we could gain this more to your advantage.
I don't care. I know the nature of the Giovanni and the Hikata. Time moves even beyond death for you, and plans can be put in motion that last hundreds of thousands of years. This is the way. The details can be worked out later, but what remains when we walk out of this room is that you are either Camarilla or you are not.
Fine. It's done.
Say the words.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
Yeah, what words? I
First of
declare
all-
Camarilla.
First of all, take a knee. Renounce the promise.
Ooh.
She does it.
In some formal high language, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
She'll even do it in Venetian because
Yeah.
she knows that bitch speaks Venetian.
She smiles and nods. Very good. She did it, both of you. Mr. Giovanni, you as well. And he says, well, whatever she said, yes, it's the same.
He does not speak Venetian.
I would imagine. The second part is, and now that that is negotiated, that you pledge your loyalty to the Camarilla of New Orleans and to Prince Charity Toussaint.
Out of character, just New Orleans? Because I'd do that shit. I don't care.
Yes.
So, like, I'm not Camarilla if I leave New Orleans.
You will be for everybody that looks at you, but...
How will they
for
know
her-
by looking at me?
Well, if word got out that, oh, she joined the Kim, like, if anybody talks to her, they're going to know what you did.
Mm-hmm.
AKA everybody's going to know.
Everybody's going to know.
Because everybody knows everything.
Everybody knows
apparently.
everybody's shit in Vampire.
It's just one of those things, like, she could be bringing another...
Absolutely.
She understands that,
And
right?
because I'm a bastard like that, that's what's happening.
She's bringing another what?
Another amount of heat down on the city.
Oh.
She'll
The
prob-
prince knows it too.
Why?
Because I need you. I need your clan to not turn Sabbat in this city again. I trust you. But you cannot exist outside any longer. The fight is at your door. The fight is at all our door. And we all have to stand together or we fall apart.
The heck?
I will go to bat for you with your damned Hecata. If they show up, you have my protection. You have this city's protection.
And yet, the way that they will show up, you have no defense against.
Mr. Kalbashari, no, you will have defenses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lots of
that
wars.
figured.
Yep.
I wish I had had time to still sell my Venetian estate, but it is what it is.
What's one estate when you could... Hell, you probably have thousands. Who knows?
This bitch really does not know what happened to me. Or she is really playing it up.
It's likely not.
Yes.
But she knows all about your sire.
Yep.
And her child.
Man, she is making such a shitty deal. She has no clue what kind of a bad deal she is making.
Yeah, she's thinking she's getting a 1,000-year-old vampire.
Right.
And yet, she seems really confident about it.
I know. I'm going with it because I have no other choice. She goes, as long as you understand that there will be repercussions from Venice.
There will not, but we will worry about that later if that does arise.
Very well. My prince, Charity Toussaint.
Welcome to the Camarilla, Persephone, Vicenta Giovanni, and Ignacio Giovanni. Now, shall we retire to the roof? It must be done soon. Would you like anyone witnessing?
I don't know. Do we need witnesses?
No. They're perhaps to assure that the spirits move on to where they need to go. And you have the artifact, and Antonio speaks up, the fetter. Is, like he's now an expert in that.
He at least tries to get it right. She'll give him that.
I believe if you would like, your coterie mates can attend if they're not far.
Of course. Somebody grab Iris on the way up.
Okay. Do we want to hand wave that she gets a hold of you all?
Yeah.
It's your choice whether you go or not.
I want to go, but I'm in a mood and I want to role play her asking me to come.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it. It's y'all's game too.
So you knock on the door and she's like, "What?"
Hello, moody teenage Iris. Iris, my dear.
Oh, come in.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Kalbashari tells us that we will have to perform the ritual on Ignacio this night because of the full moon.
Oh, of course. That's why everybody's acting so crazy.
That is a very good point, my dear. One I had not considered. You are correct. Mm-hmm. Always odd when these things rise. Mm-hmm. At any rate, Prince Charity has suggested that perhaps those in the coterie that would like to witness the event to make sure the souls go into the proper receptacles wouldn't be present. There is a very good likelihood that it will become an actual gargoyle.
Like a moving one?
Yes, my dear.
Well, how could I help move him to the right one?
I don't know that you can help move him. I don't know, stand at the right side and...
Yell at him?
I guess.
Okay.
I'm not certain.
Yeah, I want to help.
Would that work? Here, intelligence. Occult.
It's impossibly hard because this is rituals that you have no understanding of.
Here. Blood surge, I get hungry, but that's okay.
Don't tell me impossible.
I'm going to roll like 10 dice.
Yeah, I am.
And you're going to get like 11 successes. Guess what? You still don't know.
She tears up my
No, it
room.
looks like her dice made her decision for her.
Hang on.
She's going to tear up my room. Revenge.
Is there a skull smiling at you in there?
No,
okay.
no, I'm good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Still.
Maybe the souls will switch if that's what's happening as far as your understanding of Hakata, or the call will open. There needs to be some sort of vessel, if they're going to stay here, just like there had to be for you.
Oh my god, that means if they don't go to the right one, that Ig could
Yep.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I'm confused. Like, do we need to have a body for him to go to? Because which one is the gargoyle?
Well, I think
So he's turning into a gargoyle now. We need a new body?
I think that was what was in his bag. The beginnings of the gargoyle.
But why is the skin turning like that?
Okay, I'm confused now.
Yeah, me too.
So do I need to go dig Carl out of the sewer or not? I just need to know.
He's gonna come back with mad musician skills.
I'm just saying.
You know enough to know that it's still risky. Mm-hmm. There's going to be one left in that body.
Yes.
What happens after that?
Where's the other one going?
Or is it creating a physical form?
That's right. Yeah,
that happens sometimes too.
Possible.
Well, let's bring a body just in case.
There's one in the sewer.
We just need some corpses.
I did find a little small bit of that clip. And I'm like, yeah, that was accurate. We should ask Mr. Kalbashari.
Yeah, this doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
She's like, she gets up. Mr. Kalbashari.
Winston finds you. The prince reaches out and comes up, and he's like, they are requesting your presence on the roof of that building. If you would
he's not going to like this.
like to attend, sir.
Go.
It said it's about transformation or transfer of a spirit to something else. I'm not clear on it.
I'll be there for support, I suppose. I don't know what the fuck they ever do.
Okay.
Spirits and ghosts and
He's only going because the prince requested. He heard the prince
he's like,
and
oh,
he's
Charity's going to be there? Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay.
You want to come see this shit?
Yeah.
Oh my god, he takes over Winston!
Can I? Like, really?
Don't. You're going to lose your retainer. Don't do it.
Why?
Because what if Ig's soul goes into Winston's body? I don't know.
Then he's got Ig as a ghoul. He wins.
Yeah. Come on, Winston, let's go. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck yeah!
Remember when you were talking shit?
Get fucked, Ig!
Sure, buddy. You did so well with that with making this meeting happen. I'll have you come check out some weird shit.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Don't say I never did anything for you.
I know. No, you do all the time. All right, Bob.
Did Shakidra ever make it back with the file?
Yes. And she is also the one, coming running for you to let you know.
Don't bring Kiki up to the roof.
I don't think Bob would have. I think Bob would have just stayed in the lobby because.
Yeah, but you do have a card of his, an old business card from when he had a brokerage agency.
Okay. All right. So supposed to go up to the roof. That's what I know. Mm-hmm. I think Bob would grab his knives and be like, "Do I need to kill something?"
We don't know yet.
Kiki's like, I don't know. What I heard, maybe.
Well, shit.
I don't know what they're doing up there. It doesn't sound.
I don't think you should be there. I think.
I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Kiki's smart. Winston's like, this is cool as shit.
He's a dumb white kid. She's lived in New Orleans her whole life.
Kiki's been around a lot longer than Winston has.
I've got to talk to you later, but.
Okay.
For now, stick around and we'll go after whatever this is. I have no clue.
Okay. All right. I'll be here.
Well, Vicenta's got to go put it under the rock.
Yeah, he's going to give her. Yeah, he took the business card, but left the file with her.
So you all make your way to the roof. And as you do, Antonio is there in a red robe, completely nude underneath.
How do we know that?
Because it's hanging open.
What the?
There are ritual scarring and actively bleeding wounds all over his body. And he looks very tired, very weak, but he has drawn a circle with some runic shapes in it in blood on this large canvas that has been spread out onto the roof. And there are vials next to him. One looks like it's full of a white crystalline powder. Mm-hmm. There's another that's like a gelatinous, moving, reddish color of something. And he says, do you have the envelope?
Do I have the envelope?
Yeah. And you can run down and grab it and come back. And he takes that out and he looks at it, and puts it back in, and he says, do you have any doubts, either of you?
Out of character. Yeah.
Ig just looks at you and he smiles and gives you a kiss.
I guess at that point, no. As long as he's ready to go, because she kisses him back. Looks don't matter. He just needs to not deteriorate and freaking. Hopefully, I hope I'm making the right call for him.
I think you are.
I'm gonna feel really bad if I fuck this whole world up.
So
this world's already fucked. We gotta try something
Antonio
else.
motions and he says, please make your way to the circle and lie down. Don't look at what I'm about to pull from this envelope. And also, we have to remove your clothing as well, sir.
I knew he was going to say that.
And he's like, what?
Why'd you invite all my friends here then?
Guys, it's just cold out, okay? It's just cold.
Does he make that joke? Yeah.
Yes. She's rolling her eyes, but she's trying not to laugh. She's like, God damn it, Eric.
And he strips and lays down and he says, there will be a measure of discomfort. And he goes, a measure of discomfort. He goes, yes, I must mark you as well.
Can I turn Sense Unseen on right
now? Yes.
Yeah, I need to do that too. I don't know why I'm acting like I don't.
Me and Winston just have popcorn.
What the fuck?
We're just kind of sitting on the ledge of the rooftop, just like, what the fuck is this shit?
And Winston's like, you got a boner too?
Oh my god!
You put that shit up right
I'm
now.
just joking. Jesus Christ.
I will push you off this roof.
I know you will.
Like,
If
Sorry.
that boner touches
Sorry,
me.
sir. I don't.
I got an ankh with stars and then a skull.
You got 1 success.
1 success.
Is that enough, or should I do a willpower?
You probably should do willpower.
Okay,
That's going to be a bestial failure if you don't.
Oh fuck!
Willpower it is. Uh-oh.
Did you get any additional?
No.
Okay. You can't see shit. You can't see shit happening. You get so mad that you can't see shit that you're like walking around looking and angry and frustrated.
Yeah, because I want this to go well,
Yeah.
and I want to help.
But
And
you
I'm
can't
like,
see shit happen.
What is it? Come on.
Could Ig
What are you doing to
Spirit-
him?
Could Ig Spirit go into her?
We'll find out. but she's like, and Antonio's like, please, you need to step back. But you're not hearing him.
Andre, can you use your arms, please?
Yeah.
It's not working. It's
See,
not working.
she wants you to use your arms arm to pull her back.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so you'll make your check.
So I'll just...
We will just make a rouse check. We'll say it happens if you're not going to resist. If you're going to resist, the arm's pulling you.
If she didn't hear
If it's a
anything,
bestial failure, wouldn't
I'm good.
Yeah. So go ahead and give me strength plus brawl on the arms.
Oh, I got nothing.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, that's fine. That's
Thank
fine.
you.
It's yours, and plus your dots in
1,
Oblivion.
2, 3. Plus the dots in Oblivion?
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. That's great. 1, 2,
I got an ankh and a skull.
3.
Yeah.
you
Okay.
did another
I'm still,
failure.
I'm still counting dots.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Little counting dice real
Jesus.
quick.
He's gonna
Okay,
throw me off
so
the roof.
We've got.
No, they
1, 2,
can't. They
3,
just hold
4,
you in
5,
place.
6,
Oh,
7, 8.
right.
That's great.
Oh,
And
he
1,
could-
2.
He could throw
Should
her.
I blood search this?
No.
I think.
Don't
should
kill
I have-
me.
should I have 12?
critical. You want to be careful.
Okay.
Oh my
We thought
god!
Vicente was gonna kill you the last episode. Andre does this episode.
Whoops. Like a
right in front of the prince.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it doesn't. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. Any with stars on them?
One that's got stars.
Just one. That's still 6 successes.
Yeah.
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 You don't even have enough for dice to do that, do you?
No, I rolled 2 dice.
Okay, yeah. So no, she's kicking and screaming, and
And they're just holding
But
her.
yeah, there's just a
Because she
tentacle.
thinks the ritual did something fucked up now. She doesn't
And-
know what you did.
And Antonio's like, just nods at you, like, gives you the good job, bro.
I knew these things were good for something.
Yeah. So you'll be grappled until you calm down.
One comes up and just
And-
goes over your
Just
mouth.
gently, it
Probably.
just-
Yeah.
I got 3 successes on my aspects,
And
but
so,
I don't
yes,
feel
you
like
will be
that
able- You
matters.
see like red mist rising up from this circle, like just like dotting the air, and just it's like a vapor. Then after he finishes his cutting, he takes the hand bones and slaps it on the chest of Ignacio, and he just and like passes out, and just like you saw him just looking at it, now
Yeah.
it actually physically makes contact, and he just passes out. And then he grabs a book and he begins to read from the book. By the power bestowed upon me, by the blood that flows within my veins, I invoke the ancient forces of transformation.
Let this creature be reborn, by the ancient powers of earth and night.
Forevermore, in stone's might.
Where 2 souls remain, now one dwells.
Now be released from this mortal shell. what happens
No!
next week.
I knew it.
No. Keep talking.
So we're going to go around the table.
God damn it.
Everybody gets 2 XP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I knew there was no way we were getting that answer tonight.
Damn it.
And we'll start with Adam. Adam, what do you think Andre's feeling after all this? Where is his head?
I don't know. In a way, he kind of feels. He feels a little out of his element, but.
And so one thing, yeah, go ahead.
Well, because it's like he wants to be able to have control, but everyone's constantly like telling him like, no, don't do this, don't do that.
Yeah,
and
it's like he's been given power only to say, hey, don't do stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think there's like a little bit of frustration in that.
Do you think he wants to prove himself in spite of all that?
Well, prove himself in what way?
Well, to himself, I guess. Do what he wants, or is it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think there's a part of him that wants to prove that he can do it. That, like, despite the danger, that he can get away with it. Not get away with it. I don't mean it like that, but that he can. But that he can. Well, that he can win. That he can come out on top of a situation like that.
Yeah.
I think he doesn't like having an idea of what he wants to do and then being told that's not going to work.
Well, and I think the thing to take out of it as Andre walks away is the prince didn't outright forbid. Mm-hmm. It was just a caution, just to make sure that your loose ends are tied up if you're going to do that.
Yeah.
That these are an opponent that are smarter than we would like to think they are,
mm-hmm.
and give them credit for.
Yeah.
So Bob, a lot of sad moments for you, but also a promotion in the Kindred Society. What's your next step?
Bob's going to follow through with some of these ghost stuff. He's going to use these ghosts. So it's going to give Vicenta, and hopefully now Vicenta will be loyal. Not that, he didn't have any reason to doubt her, but the prince certainly did. On following up on the one, we're going to get Robert Carter, see what that has to say. And then after that, Bob still wants to check on Anthony Walls. He's probably not entirely convinced that something isn't up with him. So hopefully that ghost can handle that. I think Bob is also trying to rebuild, possibly doing some of the roles that Roger's not in the right frame of mind to do, mm-hmm. and think long term and not, just about vengeance.
Yeah.
So.
Gotcha. All right. And then Vicenta / Persephone.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of changes thrown your way really quick. Mm-hmm. Forced upon you in some ways. Decide now. And all the things you thought you'd have time to plan out.
To be fair, I've been dragging my feet on this.
Yeah. So, and it's like they kind of held them to the fire.
Yeah. So, yeah. The main thing, she's just like, I don't know. I guess she just figured that the prince, and maybe the prince does know and understand what she's getting. But just from some of the stuff that she said, Vicenta's like, oh, you don't realize what a shit end of the deal you're getting.
Well, this works both ways. You don't quite know everything you're getting into either.
That's very true, too. Well, she suspects.
Right. But
she's kind of like well, I am anyway. I'm a pessimist. Not really pessimist. What's it called? Where you think everything's just going to go to absolute shit.
It's a pessimist.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So she's kind of like, yeah, Venice is going to... Because she also knows a lot of stuff in Venice. She knows a lot of important things in Venice and a lot of important things that maybe they don't want getting out
Gotcha.
from Venice.
Well, the thing in front of you, what's to be done moving forward the next time we meet?
I mean, she's got to take care of Ig right now.
Yeah.
They were
Or-
supposed to meet up with the family, but I don't think that meeting's going to happen tonight. I think that's going to have to get rescheduled.
Or I get to take care of Ig. That
No.
soul's going to come out and I'm just going to say, hey, Winston, check this out.
You know,
Whoops.
the other end of that is you could end up with Ferox in
Oh,
Winston.
yeah.
Even better, he's super
Yeah.
dumb and will do whatever you want.
Okay. Yeah, hell yeah.
Andre said.
I'll take
Andre said, I slave.
Yeah.
No, that's not how it... You work for me. Do get paid? No. Slave.
I mean, slave or dead.
Tomato, tomato.
Poor Ferox. Does that mean I'm going to have two that are like getting jealous and fighting?
We'll find out next time.
Oh shit, I didn't think about this at all. I did not think this through.
I
Uh-oh.
didn't let
I think
you.
I fucked up.
No.
We'll give you a week in our little chat group to think about all the possibilities.
Oh, all the GIFs we're going to get in the chat.
Uh-oh.
I'll just leave that there to marinate. All right. Iris,
Yes.
the world knows it's your fault.
Yes.
And yet, there only seem to be a handful who are calling for your blood about it. Do you
Yeah.
feel like she's really off the hook or no?
I think she feels pretty safe as long as the prince is still. If she's on the prince's good side, then yeah, she feels fine. It's just the guilt now of knowing that this is what it's led to. Like, nothing in her life, she's never had this big of a consequence just from going somewhere. And she can't help but think that, like, everything she touches ends up in flames. Like Quentin, her shop, obviously Avery and Elvis. Like, it's because of her, because she was set on fire, that the fire is following her. And so she does want to wait and see what the prince says to do, because right now she feels like that is my best option for safety. But she's also really afraid to make a mistake, so she's kind of like frozen, and she's like, I can't be trusted to make the right decision, so I have to do what everyone else tells me.
Okay. So her next move is to just do what everybody tells you?
Yeah. She's gonna see where the prince wants her to live. She's gonna try and help with Ig if she can. Yeah, I guess her next move is just to, okay, where do I report to? Where am I gonna be hiding out? Because I'm the fuck up and we need to get this sorted out, but all I need to do is hide.
Okay.
Are you the fuck up though?
Yes.
Lady Fade. Lady Fade's the fuck up.
That's Vicenta's. Yes, Vicenta absolutely.
Well, hopefully that won't be the mentality forever.
Yeah. That's where she is now.
I hope you come out of it, because you do have people in your corner. So.
Oh yeah, she knows she has Vicenta in her corner. That was a really interesting proposition. But she thinks first things first is the prince wants them to move and scatter, and she's like, okay, once I do that, then I can start thinking about getting a new identity.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will find out what happens with all of those wants and plans and the fate of Ignacio the next time we meet. But until then, this is GM Tuck wishing you all a good night. Have a great one, everyone.